Meanwhile, Mats Naslund, during the course of this game yet, we have not seen his tremendous bursts of speed. And the way that the Finnish defense had been caught flat-footed all night long, you would think that Mats Naslund would just be burning them on the outside, making them look like Macy's turnstiles. Instead, he's not doing it. And along with him and Gustafsson and a few others, they've got to get their legs going out there for Team Sweden.
Sundstrom threw it into the corner. Sundstrom went after the loose puck, put it in behind the net. Matty Hagman can't get to it. Nielsen takes a shot right on Taco, and the Swedish player being held in the crease. It was gloved into the net. There will be no goal. Referee Paul Stewart in perfect position to make the call. And the Swedes in desperation tried a fast one when their player was tied up in the crease area.
Well, Howie's got to get back and give Jim Van Horn a few more lessons on goaltending here, because exactly the same thing again. Watch Taco, that puck right between his legs. He totally missed it, got a piece of it, but there it is laying in front of the net. Taco outside of his crease, an easy shot.
What an interesting replay there, because the puck was gloved by the one Swedish player, but there's no question that the stick knocked it into the net.
It wasn't gloved ahead either. What is the rule? If you touch it with a glove, and even if it goes backwards into your own zone, it's a whistle?
Well, I saw the one player whose stick was being held in the crease touch it with a glove, but it certainly didn't look like a pass. Let's have a look at it again if we can. Now watch this. Watch the glove on the puck, and watch the stick make contact, put it in. There's no question at all that the stick directed the puck into the net.
And there's not much question either that number 17 for Sweden, Peter Sundstrom, got that glove on the puck.
I've got one more piece of news for you. There's no question at all that the goal did not count. Ron Finn took that slap shot from Telvin right in the backside. And meanwhile, the puck is cleared out to Samuelsson. He has to get some help to get it back down into the Finnish zone. Siren. 5:35 to go here in the second period. Still a 1-0 hockey game, but the offensive chances have picked up a little bit for both teams here in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Curry up to Jari Gronstad. Minnesota North Star property, shoots it down the ice off a Swedish player. Ruutu tried to chop it in front, and Telvin whacked it around on the boards and out. No icing, a rule it could have been played. Vertula works his way down the board. Verta tried to steer it toward the net. Eldebrink, who's been very steady back there, took it away from him. Now Curry works out towards the front of the net, and the puck is cleared back out to center. Now the Swedes break it up one more time. Carlson steered it into the zone. And Skriko missed the pass, and the Swedes take over once again. Tomi Albalin clears it into the the Finnish zone. Skriko dumps it out to center. Eldebrink shoots it right back in again. And now Newmanen gets it out to Skriko. For Curry. Helmanen loose in front of the net. Curry back out to the line to Newmanen. There's a shot that goes off a Swedish defender. Eklund chopped towards the line and then back into the corner. Suominen has it. Suominen running along the boards. Jansson takes his man in there as well. Suominen still after it. Working against Lars Carlson.
They look like they're killing a penalty out there. Neither team taking the body. Instead, they are trying to take the puck. Not much physical effort.
Here's Tommy Eklund. Backhand shot missed the far side. And the puck is chopped back out to center. Anderson now. Michael Anderson across the line tried to set it up for Eklund, and he was tied up. Eklund goes to the boards, working against Newmanen. Järvi. Up to Newmanen. Shoots it into the Swedish zone. 3:05 to play in the second period. Still a 1-0 hockey game. Here comes Michael Telvin. Dumps it down the left side. Gustafsson is loose. Tried to set it up in the slot. Telvin had to shovel it into the corner. Rupe is after it there, but Gronstand controls for Finland. Up to Numminen. He's checked. Gustafsson. Gronstand got in his way. Utila. Up to Jari Gronstand. Shoots it in. Telvin broke that up. Telvin along the boards. Gustafsson trying to help him. Now Tynan. There's a shot right on, and Lindmark was right there once again. And the puck is flipped off a player and over the glass. 2:27 to go in period 2. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Which one of you wants to talk about it? You want to talk about it, Gary? Okay.
Well, remember this play. Taco let the puck go in front of him. Number 17 here, Peter Sundstrom, definitely put his hand on the puck. He was trying to push it forward. That is why the whistle was blown and the goal was disallowed. Sweden could have been ahead 2-1.
And give referee Paul Stewart credit. He was right behind the net, and he had a perfect spot to see whether or not the play should have counted. It was his judgment, and he made it right away that the play did not count, and it remains a 1-0 hockey game. Nielsen sends it into the corner. Sundstrom couldn't get free to try and make a good pass in front. It comes back to the line. It's kept in by Kent Nielsen. Nielsen now into the corner. Rundqvist throws it back out to Albala, and there's a shot. Score! Tommy Albalin.
Well, at least the Swedes have been shooting from the point periodically during this game. Now watch in front of the net, though. There are two Swedish players. Nilsson's one of them. They're both tied up. So Taco is able to see the puck fairly clearly. That puck comes back to the point. Number 9, Rundqvist, just throws it after he walked around behind the net, comes back to Albala. He walks in. Now Taco may have been screened by his left winger who came out there and got down in front, but he still should have been able to see that puck soon enough. Albalin gets credit for the goal. Nilsson parked just to Taco's left.
Sodergren now, as play resumes, clears it out into the center ice area. Esa Tikkanen shoots it into the Swedish zone. Carlson clears it back out to center. And now Bergqvist clears it into the zone. Sodergren is after it there. Blomqvist up to Tikkanen. Sodergren intercepted that pass, just dumped it towards Kari Taco. And now Blomqvist gets it out once more to Tikkanen. Backhand shot right into Peter Lindmark. He handles it easily. Lars Carlson nearly gave it away to Tikkanen, but they finally get it up to Sodergren at the line and out into the center ice area. Bergqvist missed the pass, and this will be an icing call against Sweden. 1 minute exactly to play in the second period. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Welcome back to Center 200 in Sydney. I'm Peter Watts with Gary Green, Howie Meeker, and Jim Van Horn. And there is Tommy Sandlin, the coach of the Swedish team. His club leading this hockey game 2-0. And he has to be a little bit more pleased with a little bit more effort on the part of his team in the second period. Although it has been a while coming. Under a minute to go in the second period. And the Swedes dump the puck down the ice. Goalkeeper Kari Taco plays it, so there'll be no icing. Raimo Helminen just left it there. Gronstand cleared it across to the far side, and now Telvin intercepts for Sweden. Rundqvist shoots it back into the Finn zone. Utila clears it as far as the center ice area. And now, as soon as the Swedes get back on side, Telvin shoots it back into the corner. Alvelin from Nielsen and Jansson at 18:04, the official scoring on the second Swedish goal. And the Finns get as far as the Swedish line, and the puck's cleared back out to center. Lindmark, delayed offside coming up, and instead the period comes to an end with the Swedes leading Finland by a score of 2-0. So this is the 1987 Labatt's Canada Cup.
Sverige fick första målet, det är mycket viktiga sådana i första perioden. I andra perioden fick vi det andra målet, inte mindre viktigt, Tommy Alvelin.
Nej, det är 1-0, det är ingen säker ledning, men nu har vi 2-0 och det känns lite tryggare för oss.
Jag tyckte från min utsiktsplats att pucken passerade mellan benen på den finska målvakten den här gången också, men du säger att det inte var så.
Nej, det var inte så. Den tog på backen som slängde och täckte skott och sen gick den stolpe in.
Men vi bjöd finländarna på en hel del målchans i den här perioden.
Ja, det har vi gjort. Lite för mycket. Och vi har mycket att tacka för Pekka att vi fortfarande har 2-0 som vi har nu.
Och vi vet ju att han är bra, men hur ska vi spela för att inte bjuda på så många målchanser? Det är en period kvar.
Ja, vi får nog gå hem lite nu. Vi har gått bort oss lite mycket i anfallszon. Så ett snabbt pass har ställt 2, kanske 3 man ibland. Så de har kommit 3 mot 2, 2 mot 1.
Tycker du att finnarna är lika tända som vanligt?
Nej, de brukar väl vara ett snäpp vässare tycker jag.
Det ser ut som vi skulle kunna gå hem med det här.
Jag hoppas det.
Tack ska du ha. Tack ska du ha.
Tack.
Shots on goal in the second period for Team Sweden.
Of hockey action left to play here in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Team Sweden is leading Team Finland by a score of 2-0. Coming up a little later on this afternoon, a very important game for Team USA. General Manager Lou Nanne is with us now. I hope that your team can get up a little more than what these two teams are up for. They're not playing very well at all in the first two periods.
Well, I don't know if they're not playing very well at all or if it's just their style. One thing you notice about the European teams, for the most part, they don't go to the net very much. They pass the puck 4 times to get 19 feet or something. It's really amazing that as much puck control as they do have in a game, that they don't have very many shots, and I think that really takes away from the intensity. Plus, you don't see as much body checking. You know that between the two teams, so you don't think that they're as intense. It's just their style of play, and because we have more contact in our game, that's why our game's a lot more exciting.
One of the surprises of the tournament so far, Lou, has been Team USA. They've played extremely well. On the other hand, one of the other surprises has been Team Finland because they haven't played very well.
I think Team Finland's really had a big problem with their forwards. I don't see much intensity going to the net at all. They look good in warm-ups and they pass the puck nice when they got some room and they skate around the perimeter, but the forwards really have not given the defense or the goaltender much problem. They just don't seem to drive for position. They don't seem to go to the net at all and cause any havoc for the goaltender, and because of that, it just seems that they're just not generating any offense at all.
Guys have been ragging me for the last two periods because I complimented Kari Taco on a strong first period. I felt the score could have been much higher after 20 minutes. I thought he played pretty well. He did let in a soft goal in the second period, but again, he couldn't be completely 100% faulted for it.
Well, the second goal was deflected, and so that's not a soft goal. Anytime the puck changes directions on a guy, you got to be pretty lucky to get it. Many times deflected shots, the saves that are made on him are just pure luck, and he just wasn't lucky in that one. But he's played well in nets. Lindmark's played very well in the net for Sweden. They did get 3-4 chances, which is unusual for the Finns, and they were only initial shots. They never get a secondary shot, and Lindmark was able to make the save, and that's what really kept the score 2-0.
Every time you take the ice, Lou, whether it be a game or practice, there's always the risk of injury. Do you worry about injuries more in a tournament like this heading into the regular NHL season than you would say during a regular NHL game?
You really don't try to think about the injuries. The only time you think about it, if you see someone go down and get hurt, the first thing you look for is his number. Is it our guy? If it's not, then that passes and you say, okay, he's hurt and hopefully not bad, you know. But you do concern yourself if anyone is down injured. But other than that, it's just like any other game. It's just like a player driving to the rink is going to have a car accident. You can't worry about that. You have to allow them to play. And you know, the people who play with a great deal of reckless abandon usually don't get hurt. It's the people who play careful that end up with the injuries many times.
Good luck against Czechoslovakia later on today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Lou Nanne, General Manager of Team USA. We'll be back with more from Sydney. This is the Labatt Canada Cup 87. They now lead this game over Team Finland by a score of 2-0. Welcome back to Sydney. I'm Jim Van Horn. Very pleased, I think, to welcome back Howie Meeker with some highlights of that second period. Lou Nanne thought he played pretty well in the first two periods. But we're going to talk about Finland and their lack of control of the play throughout the game, actually.
Well, yes, it's not often that you see European teams continually give the puck away. Normally, when they get rid of the puck, they give it to someone wearing the same color jersey. The Finns, either they were out last night a little late or they're colorblind. Here, we'll show you right here. Okay, there's the Finns on the attack here. They've got the puck right there, and the player will carry it into this area. Now watch in front. There's 1, 2, and a third Swedish player will come into play. Sometimes better lucky than good. All he's doing here is praying, throwing it into the middle. There's not a chance of it going to someone wearing a white jersey. Look at there. There are 3 players it goes through, and then a Swedish player touches it and gives it to the point man. Now, that's a great pass right to the point man. He lets the shot go, and the defenseman on the other side, after the puck goes by the short side, comes out the other side, he pinches. Now watch the big guy, does exactly the same thing. Hang tight, hold it right there, hold it right there. Look at, there is nothing but opposition sweaters out in front, and what does he do? He throws it through the crowd, but he gets lucky. Eludes everybody and goes back out to the point. Now stop it right here. Here's the key. Both these fellas come in front of the net. The shot will come from the point man, hit them, drop at the Finnish player's feet, and forcing Lindmark to make a heck of a save. There's the shot. It's blocked in front. The Finnish player turns around, picks it up, is eyeball to eyeball with Lindmark, but that's not good enough. You got to go upstairs on that turkey. You're not going to beat him through the 5-hole, guaranteed.
All right, it was a better second period for Team Sweden, and as far as they were concerned when it came to handling the puck, and it paid off in a goal late in the period.
Well, yes, it did, but I'll tell you what I was most impressed with is the way they played behind their blue line. To me, it was just absolutely unbelievable. And here we're going here. Stop it right here. Okay, this is the start of it. And watch this player here with the discipline. You're told time and time again, when you attack one player behind the blue line, stay with them. You can only do one thing. And watch this. Okay, let it go. Now watch the Finns line up behind the blue line. Stop it right there again. Look at, there it is. Just keep an eye on that guy. He stays with that player all the time. That's it. Now you're getting it, Gary. Let her go. He's with him again. The Finns back off. Swedes back off. Stop it right here. Look who's got him. It's right there with him. He stayed with him. Now watch the perfect position of the Swedish hockey team. There is no way in the world if the Finns come up with the puck they're going to do anything constructive. Stop it right there. They have a man in this position here, that man there, one man in here, and everybody's covered. The puck will finally come out to a Finnish player. Look at this. That is just unbelievable. All 5 men flooding the zone in their own half of the ice surface. It comes up to the Finnish player right here out of that pack, and he'll shoot it in, and you know who's going to come up with it right there, and away they go. Hey, that is just great discipline. When a coach gets a team to play like that behind the blue line, he's super.
Okay, Howie, thanks very much. We'll take a break and come back with the third period of play from Sydney. It's 2-0 Sweden. This is the Labatt Canada Cup 87.
weekend, or Jimmy? You want me to do it though, not Jimmy? You guys all having a good time down there? The second period summary from Center 200 in Sydney, brought to you by the good folks at Dodge Trucks. The only goal of the period scored by Tommy Albalin at 18:04. The assist to Kent Nielsen and Thomas Rundqvist. And the shots totals 18-14 now favor the Swedes. And 2-0 on the scoreboard. Well, now, what kind of performance can we look for? The Swedes content to just play defense and throw the puck out? And the Finns, can they muster any kind of attack, or are they just about ready to surrender?
Well, I think, first of all, that Team Sweden has surely got enough left in them that they can come out and play 20 good, solid minutes of hard-working hockey. On the other hand, Team Finland, as you could see, they were just in their final huddle for Canada Cup. I don't know, Peter, whether or not they've got their bags packed already and ready to go home, but I don't think that they're really capable of mustering up too much of an attack. A lot of the reason because of what Lou Nanne said. Their forwards just have no intensity.
Skriko, Ruutu, and Kuri on the forward line to start period 3 for Team Finland. Gustafsson, Rupe, and Naslund for the Sweden. Taco leaves it behind his own net. Leanan cleared it around on the boards, and it comes out to Kuri in the center ice area. Naslund knocked down. Kuri carries on across the line. Ruutu works his way towards the net. Lindmark cleared it away. And now it'll be Rupe bringing it out for Sweden. Magnus Rupe works his way in across the line. Naslund's shot deflected into the corner. Kuri couldn't get it free. Gustafsson behind the net, centers it. It comes back outside the line. Eldebrink up to Naslund. He just gets rid of it into the Finnish zone. Gronstand is after it. Rundqvist is after him. And the Finns clear it out to center. That pass knocked down by Nielsen. Now it's Lars Carlson dumping it towards the line, and Nielsen was ruled offside at the blue line.
When you watch Team Sweden in practice, as I did yesterday, I mean, this is a very entertaining team. They were doing more magic with that puck during their workout than you could possibly imagine. Their passing is absolutely superb. Their skating, their whole skill level is absolutely at the very top end. However, they don't do it in the game because there's no pressure.
However,
I knew you were coming in there, Howie.
I waved my hand.
Well, you and I enjoyed the practice yesterday, and I mean, they were great.
Hey, that's the thing we should have telecast, the practice.
I'll tell you what, I'm working with two guys who like to wave their hands up here. I'm getting out of the way or I'll get a concussion. Rundqvist keeps it in at the line. Nielsen shoveled it towards the corner. Taco left it behind the net, and Utila has it there.
It'd be the first physical play in the game if there was anyway, Peter.
Now it's Lars Carlson for Team Sweden. Hagman is up to do some forechecking. Well, so-called forechecking. He was in the zone. And Janssen brings it out to center. Janssen dumps it in. It comes back to the line. Here's a shot right on Taco. And the puck goes up over the glass.
Well, this line...
The Labatt player of the game for Sweden will receive the new Canon EOS autofocus. Autofocus that never misses. Stop the game with the only autofocus camera quick enough to capture all the action. The Canon EOS, the official 35mm camera of the 1988 Winter Olympic Games. Here's Carlson going in right on the net, and the puck just slid wide of the open corner, and the Finns clear it out and down the ice. Good chance there by Anders Carlson to go along with the two he had in the first period. But he's 0 for 3 on chances. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
front and back on top of Lexus, as well as the main concourse will be closed.
Didn't hear either one? I did that commercial. I heard the commercial cue, but I didn't have a clue we were going to the rest.
This telecast is protected by copyright. Any use of this telecast without permission is prohibited. 17:40 to play in the third period. Sweden 2, Finland nothing. The face-off in the Finnish zone, and the Finns are finally able to take control of the loose puck. Järvi works it as far as the line. Sodergren did a good job to keep it in. Blomqvist now behind his own net. Suominen out into the center ice area. Now Suominen will try and cross the line, and instead Sodergren got back to break that play up. Anders Karlsson works into the slot area. Siren knocked him down. The puck cleared into the corner. Sodergren is after it there. And it comes out to Karlsson. He got it back to the line, and the Swedes are not able to keep it in as Eldebrink had just come off the bench.
Well, Peter, I was starting to say that the line of Bergqvist, Karlsson, and Sodergren in front of Peter Lindmark has probably been the best checking line that the Swedes have had in today's game. Lindmark has played well enough. Well, you can't knock him too much. He has not had a goal scored against him as of yet. And he hasn't had an awful lot of help in front of him. However, that line that was just on the ice, Bergqvist, Karlsson, and Sodergren, do create more action out there just through their intensity. They're hard working than any other line the Swedes have had so far.
Kojanen cleared it into the zone. Seppo tried to shovel it towards the slot area. Tommy Eklund has it there. Got rid of it down the boards. That's broken up. And the Finns nearly had a great scoring opportunity in alone. Now Albalin starts out of his own zone. He'll be at the Nordiques camp later on this month. Just signed by the Quebec Nordiques hockey team. Seppo cleared it over on the boards. Gronstad's got it there. DeVerta. Up to Seppo. Dropped it to Kylanen. In behind the net. Seppo's after the loose puck. Orders are close along the boards. Seppo shovels it loose. Takes a hit along the boards. Olanen fights his way out of the corner. Nobody at the line. Now he gets the pass out, and that shot by Kylanen was wide. Here's another shot by Gronstad that missed the net. And the Swedes are able to chop it over the glass and take a whistle. .15:40 to go in the third period. And we're back to the kind of pattern of play that we saw in the first period and a half.
Mikkel Andersson did not play in the second game. However, in 3 games, he has ended up being the leading scorer for Team Sweden here. Andersson was a late addition to this whole Team Sweden.
I'll tell you something, too. He's got a goal and 3 assists, and he's +5. The only guy in the team that's working. +5. How about that? All the superstars are minus.
He looks pretty good out there, too. I mean, he does try to break through that blue line and shows some intensity, something that we haven't seen a great deal of in this game.
Curry struggles behind the net with Thomas Jansson, and the puck is cleared out into the center ice area. Utila up to Ruutu. Curry across the line. Dumped it into the slot area. Skriko couldn't get loose. And they get it out into the center ice area. Now it's Magnus Rupe. In across the line, did a good job using his body as a screen. Gustafsson can't get free, and now it's Jansson who has to go back to get the loose puck. Thomas Jansson, New York Islander veteran defenseman. Longtime member of the Swedish national team, shoots it down the ice, and Utila has it there. Up to Jari Kurri. Back for Numminen. Up into the center ice area. Ruutu nearly got free. Good job to take him out of the play there by Michael Telvin. And Telvin goes after the loose puck, shovels it along the boards, and Rundqvist now gets out into the center ice area. Rundqvist across the line. All his help went to the bench, so Rundqvist circles back. Flips it for Nielsen. Then the Finns take over. Numminen. Up to Blomqvist. He gets as far as the line. And Telvin shoots it right back out again. Blomqvist to Mikko Makala. He's rubbed in along the boards there by Samuelsson. Sundstrom couldn't get loose. And the puck is shot back into the Swedish zone. Lindmark along the boards. Tikkanen broke that play up. And the puck goes up over the glass once again. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. Did you hear any of that? Did you hear any of that? Okay. Okay, I'll take it. You're looking at the Labatt Canada Cup standings. If this present 2-0 lead for Sweden holds up, Sweden would move up into a second-place tie with the Soviets, who play later today against Canada. And the Finns would remain winless in 5 starts in the competition. That's what the standings will look like if this 2-0 lead holds up. 13:45 to play in the third period. And the Swedes chop the puck into the Finnish zone. Taco behind his net clears it around on the glass. Carlson up to do some forechecking. The Finns are able to dig it free, and Utila takes it behind his own net. Up to Gronstad. Into the center ice area. And the Finns break it up once again. Ojanen clears it in across the line. Carlson effectively doing some back checking. Here's a shot toward the side of the net. Here's a chance right in front, and Lindmark didn't give the shooter much room to work on. And the Finns regroup at center. Now it's Albalin. Tried to throw it up into the middle where Sodergren was breaking free. Now here's a chance for the Finns. And another chance. And Lindmark made the first save. And then flared the high-flying puck. And held on for a face-off.
Balance. Great balance on skates.
Well, all Lindmark had to do in that second one was just play a little baseball here. Watch as number 14, Seppo, winds up with a shot. Big rebound that came out, though. That was picked up by number 22, Ojanen, but there was a rolling puck. He really drifted that one up into the high area of the net. Lindmark just coming across on his backhand and pulling that puck out of the air.
Well, the key there was he just didn't guess. He attacked the shooter and let the shooter stick make contact with the puck and then moved that left leg to make the save. He had to go down on one knee, bounce right back up, and was able to play goal. I just think great move, great save, great balance.
Well, you mentioned the key word, Howie. You were talking about balance, and it was a good piece of work there by Peter Lindmark. And now Michael Anderson, about whom we were speaking moments ago, shoots the puck in towards the side of the net. It comes back out to the line, and the Finns are able to break out. Good play there by Carlson to break up that Finnish thrust. Anderson. Having trouble finding a play to make, threw it up along the boards, and he managed to get the puck out into the center ice area. Siren shoots it right back in again. Lindmark shoots it right at Curry, and Curry comes around behind the net, dumped it in front, and there was Lars Pettersson to take it away from a Finnish attacker, Christian Ruutu. Now it's Eklund clearing it into the zone. Play really scrambly here in the last few minutes. Nobody really able to get anything going in a sustained kind of way, and right now there's a pile up in front of the Finnish bench, and there's no further play.
Well, we had not talked about what a disappointment Jari Kurri has been. This is the type of a tournament when you would expect a Jari Kurri to get away from his shadow Wayne Gretzky and really show what type of a hockey player he is. We talked earlier about how many goals and assists he'd scored this past year in the NHL, but I think he's really obviously missing Wayne Gretzky. He doesn't have even close to a Wayne Gretzky playing center ice for him, and he, on the other hand, hasn't shown a great deal of intensity. We've used that word a lot through the game, but boy, oh boy, all you've got to do out there is show a little bit of hustle in life. Curry hasn't really shown any.
Talbot takes Tikkanen in on the boards. The Swedes cleared around to the line, but not out. Blomqvist fakes the shot. And now Blomqvist takes a shot towards the net. Lindmark came out and chopped it out into the center ice area. Rupe is after it. And finally, Teppo Numminen throws it over to Blomqvist. Out to center. Gustafsson shoots it inside the line. Naslund can't get to it. Michael Talbot. Now Tikkanen. Rupe poked it inside the line. 2-on-1 break. Rupe right in. Rupe trying to tuck it in. They score! Off Tikkanen, I believe, but Rupe with some nice moves will get credit for the goal.
Well, that's almost a replay of what Howie and I saw in practice yesterday. These guys, when they're on an offensive opportunity, as Rupe was right here, they can really do a lot with the puck. Rupe just held on to it. He held on to it. Taco came out. He finally committed himself. And then, very neatly, Rupe just tucked that puck in behind him. Watch it now from Taco's angle. Taco didn't make a move until the very last minute when he stuck that left pad out, but still there was enough room and enough reach for Rupe to get a hold of that puck and just tuck it in behind that goal line.
Well, Taco was mentally asleep on it as well. When Rupe went to his left over the goal line, he had to use his stick as a poke check, and he didn't. He stuck out his foot instead. Got to use the stick.
Ojanen in across the line. It's dumped out. Now here's a breakaway for Team Sweden. Kent Nilsson right in on Taco. Lost control of the puck. And it comes back out to the line. Albalin throws it in. Nilsson with another chance. Scores! No, they ruled no goal. He must have hit the crossbar. It comes back out to the line. Seppo in across the line now. Ojanen chopped it to the corner. Seppo can't get to it. Heilinen to Seppo. And now it is taken by Team Sweden and shoveled out to the line and into the center ice area. Anders Eldebrink. 10 minutes to go in period 3. 3-0 in favor of Sweden. Anders Karlsson. And the Swedes starting to throw the puck around in their own zone a little bit carelessly now. Here's a chance for Ruutu. He scores!
Well, Peter, you had just finished saying how careless Team Sweden were in their own end zone defensively. No sooner had you said that than what a boo-boo here. Karlsson just overskated the puck. Ruutu ends up with it and